Most High Christ. Bear with me. Bobbity, bobbity. Bear with me 1 second, Israel. Bear with me 1 second. So you went to class? Concert. All right. No sweat. All right, shalom, Israel. Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Thumb Yahweh Shema, Thumb Shem Yahshua. Priest and officer 1,000. You die holding it down till 12 till General Muhammad gets here, or a higher ranking brother. Now, black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman, we got to understand, man, it's important, you know what I mean, for us to get back into this truth. You know what I mean? To come back in this truth and to come back to our identity, because black, Latino, and First Nation man and woman, we are the Jews of antiquity. We are the Israelites. Shalom, says the Lord of Christ. Well, we got to realize, man, it ain't nothing out here in the world. Like everybody right now is gearing up for what? To have our babies, celebrate Halloween? Come on, man. First of all, like I saw something on the news earlier, Danielle, and it said that they are disguising Skittles as fentanyl. So like Skittles packets that y'all were getting ready to think y'all about to get a discount on, it's really fentanyl in there. Shalom, boy. Understand this, man. We ain't supposed to be celebrating Halloween. Now think about this too for a second, and which is real heavy. You tell our babies every year, we tell our children, don't talk to strangers. So you mean to tell me that one day out the year you're gonna send them to a stranger's house? You're going to send them to Jeffrey Dahmer's house, huh? Listen, man, the Lord is not with Halloween. The Lord is not with Thanksgiving and Christmas and none of these other holidays, you know what I mean, that the oppressor has. We can't do that. We can't. If I could, young man Chris, give me Amos chapter 5 and verse 21. As usual, if I have any questions, you know what I mean, no questions in the room, you know what I mean, type your questions in online so when the general gets here. Well, understand this, man, like Halloween is just so wicked. It is. And all of these holidays of the oppressor is. Like, we got to come back to our identity, man. We got to come back and realize that we're the real Jews of antiquity. We are. And right now, it's starting to get popular, especially out there in the celebrity world. You see what they're doing to Kanye West. They're trying to cancel him. They're trying to drop, you know what I mean, drop him from all those endorsements. But what he said was correct. That Negro in America, the West Indian Islands, and in Haiti, we are the Jews, man. Latino man, First Nation, Seminole Indian man and woman. We are the Israelites. And the last thing they want us to do. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshua Brakatah. Let's get it on. All right, Akim, Aquathian. Let's do it. I'll answer your questions in the room and online. We'll go over the old Kanye West thing. We haven't done it already. If you're not prepped for that for the street, you should get prepped for that. All right, be prepared. And anything else you might have. All right. Whenever you're ready, you let me know. No questions online. Yes, sir. All right. Stand by.
Bear with me. Good one. It's a good one. Okay. Go ahead, Wayne.
You got some questions now, sir.
All right. Go ahead and tell me.
Brother said, Shalom, sir.
Well, let me stop you 1 second.
Oh,
It's one I'll go into later, right? When we can, is 2nd Esdras. 2nd Esdras 15. I appreciate it. 2nd Esdras 15 and 19. Right? And I have not seen such faith. I'm fine with it. No, not in Israel. Give me that. I need more. Psalms 81 and 9 down to 15. All right. Solid. I'll take your questions now. Let's do it.
Brother said, Shalom, sir.
Can I move this microphone up?
Oh, come on.
Let me just try to get it a little further. Move the hoof over there. I don't want to.
Brother said, Shalom, sir. I got a general breakdown.
Is this camera's high enough?
Come.
Go ahead. Next. Please go ahead.
Come. Said, Shalom, sir. I got a general breakdown of Genesis chapter 29 and verse 17. Leah was tender-eyed, but Rachel was beautiful and well-favored. What does tender-eyed mean in this scripture? Was Leah cute to Jacob?
I prefer not to use the word cute. That's not a very masculine word for me, myself, but there's no sin against it. Let's just say she was very attractive. Of Israel, he received a covenant from God. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob are the three fathers of the covenant, meaning they passed a blessing, an inheritance down that they got from the Most High, and they passed it down to the son that the Most High chose of their children. We come from those three men, which is why we have the inheritance that they had. What was that inheritance? To rule the planet Earth. Every green tree, every hill, every horse, every lamb, everything that belongs to God belongs to us, because the Most High God gave that to Abraham, who gave that to Isaac, who gave that to Jacob. Jacob's name was changed from Jacob to Israel once he fought an angel, and we are the Israelites. We're the sons and daughters of Israel. Everybody understands. So now, okay, there's different stories in history about where these 12 sons came from, right? And one of them in particular is these two women called Leah and Rebekah. Now, Leah and Rebekah were sisters. Jacob worked for 7 years because he wanted to marry which one? Rebekah? Rachel and who? Rachel and Leah. Those are the two sisters, Salakia, Rachel and Leah. So he wanted to marry Rachel because he believed she was very beautiful. He wanted her. She was very attractive to him. He worked for 7 years for her father, as a payment of dowry, increased her father's business tenfold, use his innovations, use the blessing that he had from the Most High, the skill, the insight, the business acumen, his knowledge of livestock and of health and of farming to increase her father's business, man, in an amazing way. And then after that, he went into a tent and married the wrong sister, because the father put the wrong sister in the tent. And once it was over, he said, well, why'd you let me marry the wrong woman? That's not the one I wanted. He said, because in our land, we don't marry the younger sister before we marry the older sister. So he gave him the older sister, which was one that he did not find attractive. He did not think she was beautiful, but she thought he meant everything in the world. Do you understand? She thought he was amazing. And so the father said, listen, work for me 7 more years, and I'll give you the one that you want. And he did it. So in essence, he worked for 14 years to get this one woman. And along the way, he got a woman that he didn't really want, but that God gave him. Do you understand? If you need a precept for that, what's the obvious precept that Christians will never know? Adam and Eve. Adam married a woman when what? When he was sleeping. When he was sleeping. He slept on Eve. Now, if you're an oppressor, then you don't know what I'm talking about. But Adam slept on Eve. Eve was not the type of woman he wanted. What type of woman did Adam want? Officers. I'll take that. That's true, but let me make it more to Adam's time. He wanted a woman outside of his family. He didn't want a woman in his family. His type was to get a woman outside of his family. But the Most High caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam. And he did marry Eve, a woman in his family. What's the direct metaphor to today? If you want a white woman, if you want an oppressor's daughter, you want a woman outside of the family. If you want a Chinese woman, you want a woman outside of the family. If you want an African woman, you want a woman outside of the family. You don't want a woman in the family. But Adam slept on her. He didn't realize it. And the Most High had him marry her. And of course, she became the mother of us all. Everyone understands. Well, Jacob married Leah and he didn't want her, but she wanted him. Read the precept now.
Sir. Genesis chapter 29 and verse 17. Leah was tender-eyed, but Rachel was beautiful and well-favored.
Leah was tender-eyed. What does tender-eyed mean? Tender-eyed means that Leah had compassion. You understand? She had a conscience. And to most carnal men, that has no value. A woman who has a good heart, a good heart. She had a good heart. She was tender-eyed. Like imagine a woman that sees a puppy and goes like, oh man, look at this puppy. This puppy needs some food. Or look at this poor man laying on the street corner. He needs some help. Look at that poor sister with her children. They need some food. They need clothing. They need, clothing to get through the winter. That's a tender-eyed woman. And she had her tender eyes set on him. She wanted to help him. She wanted to help him. And a woman with tender eyes, brother, is beautiful. She's beautiful. She has a conscience. She feels compassion for people. But the other one was bad as hell. The other one just looked good, right? And so he worked for 14 years for that one. But the Most High gave him all his children damn near. Or not, was it all the children? I think it was every last one. 6 of those kids came from her. And then handmaids had to have the other ones. Am I right? Or did the one that was beautiful have any kids?
Rachel had Benjamin and Joseph, and Leah had Judah, Reuben, Issachar, Zabalawan, and Simeon.
6 kids. The one who was bad had 2. The one who had compassion had 6, and handmaids had the other ones. Do you understand? That's the point. Tender-eyed means she has compassion, kindness. And so many of these hard-headed leather boot bitches you like to marry, all they are is a big butt. And the butt is fake, Did y'all realize that? Not that that's a sin. That's up to you, okay? But there are things about yourself that I would seek to improve that are more important than you tell.
Right.
There are things wrong with you that are terrible things, horrible things wrong with you. Of course, I know why you think you need blue eyes and blonde hair and fake tails and fake breasts, because that's all wicked men want. And of course, if you want a wicked man, you better get a fake tail as big as this goddamn table. You better get breasts that you got to carry in the room with 2 helpers. You better. And you better get blue eyes and bleach your skin. Don't forget that. Because remember, he doesn't want a woman in the family. He wants somebody outside the family. So you better look like you're a white woman. You better look like one if you want to get a man. The problem is the kind of man you're getting is the kind of man that doesn't value compassion and kindness and generosity. He just wants you for what you look like, and you don't care anyway. And so, hey, go be happy. All right. Anything else? That's what tender-eyed means. Compassion, kindness, mercy. That's what it means to have tender eyes. You understand? Next.
Brother says, Shalom, how about you, my trouble? Salaam, sir, can I use Exodus 12 and 12 for a precept for Isaiah 14 and 21?
Let's hear it.
Sir. The book of Exodus, chapter 12 and verse 12. For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night, and will smite all the first.
Do me a favor, Malak. Give me for a second. Go ahead.
And I will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast. And against all the gods of Egypt, I will execute judgment. I am the Lord.
I'm sorry, read it one more time.
The book of Exodus, chapter 12 and verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night.
What's his question about in specific, please?
He wants to know if this is a precept for Isaiah chapter. Could he use it for a precept for Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 21?
Can he use this precept for Isaiah 14 and 21? All right, let me hear Isaiah 14 and 21 first.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14 and verse 21. Prepare slaughter for his children.
Mm-hmm. Prepare slaughter for his children. Go ahead.
For the iniquity of their fathers.
For the iniquity of their fathers. That's children paying for the murder, the rape, the genocide that their fathers committed. Why? Because the children inherited what the fathers stole. So the children have to pay for the father's crime. That's just simple, right? Keep going. It's like receiving stolen property. If you have a car that's stolen and you took it from someone or bought it from someone or was giving it to someone that stole the car, the police wouldn't say, oh, well, you didn't steal it. They would say you received stolen property, and they would put you in jail for that, for receiving stolen property. So why should God not want justice for what happened to the blacks and Hispanics? Why shouldn't he punish the people that received stolen property? He will. And the Most High said, prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of the fathers. Keep going.
That they do not rise.
Why? Why must the children pay for what the fathers, for the crimes the fathers have committed? Because with the wealth that they stole from Mexico, stole from South and Central America, with the hard work, labor, ingenuity that the tribe of Judah, that so-called black people gave them, they'll take that inheritance that their fathers stole and they'll build cities all over the planet with what they stole from you. They're going to Mars right now. With what? With what they stole from you. And that's why you have to take it from the children that received it from bloody fathers, or else the children will take that wealth and rule Mars, which is about to happen, which is on the verge of happening right now. Ask the Space Force. Put the symbol for the Space Force up on the screen, please. If this doesn't make it clear for you. Keep going.
Nor possess the land.
And nor possess the land. So the children got to be stopped because they have so much wealth that they received from their fathers. So they got to die. That's in the Bible. They have to, right? Who's going to kill them? The Most High. The Most High kills people all the time. He damn sure kills blacks and Hispanics like, nobody's business. He's killing us, my God. Ask Florida. Ask Louisiana. Ask Philadelphia, Chicago, New York, Guatemala, Honduras. Ask them. Ask Tijuana. Ask them. The God kills us. And God can certainly give judgment to our enemies. That's the symbol for the Space Force. Right now, that's what they wear. That's what they wear in their uniforms. And what is that? That is Pharaoh, whose head is controlling the planet Earth, but he has his eyes on the stars. He controls the planet right now. You see him on there. But his head is looking at the stars. He's going to take everything he stole from you, use it, and go to the stars and control the stars. A lot of you nuts out there, you believe in aliens. I tell you what, you better hope there are no aliens, because if there are aliens, them niggas are about to go into slavery. The Martians and the ETs are about to be whipped and get on crack. So for your sake, I hope there are no aliens, because you can watch all those movies if you want. He's looking at those stars to not go up there and make friends. You can tell from the seal, from the image, what they're planning to do to the stars. They're planning on letting Pharaoh, Egypt, rule space. And you know what the Egyptians did. Like, come on, man. Like all this goddamn talk about who the Jews are. Well, the white man knows that the Egyptians enslaved the Jews, and he uses that symbol for the Space Force to say, we're bringing oppression from Egypt up there. We're going to do it up there like we did it down here. Come on.
Mm-hmm. About the oppressor going up into space and enslaving all of the blue natives. That sounds like.
That's what he listen. If there's aliens, brother, they better learn to farm. They better learn to farm. More than likely, if there's aliens, they'll be down here owning chicken joints and nail salons down here in America. If he finds aliens, he'll bring them down here and put them in your neighborhood and give them a Chinese place. You'll be eating Martian food. You'll be eating, food from blah blah blah. You'll be eating space food down here in the ghetto. They'll give them nail salons, chicken joints, and 7-Elevens. Next. So this is a precept, solid. You understand that. Go ahead. Next. What's the other precept?
This is a precept for Exodus chapter 12, verse 12. For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night, and I will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt.
Forget about it. That is absolutely a precept. Correct. And it's what's going to happen in the future. It happened in the past. I will pass through what?
Pass through the land of Egypt.
I will pass through what?
The land of Egypt.
I will pass through what?
Egypt.
The white man is trying to bring Egypt to space. To space. And he's going to do it with what he stole from you. He must be stopped. And the Most High is going to stop him. He's going to stop him. All you have to do is stop getting high. You women, stop being sluts and whores. You brothers, stop being in love with sluts and whores. And the Most High God will bring justice to us here in America and South America and Central America and Europe and Trinidad and the Caribbean. And he'll do it just like he did it on that night, when he killed the firstborn of every Egyptian. Everyone understands. This is absolutely a precept. Next. The lock in the back.
So if our oppressor understands that the Egyptians enslaved Israelites and he sees what happened to the Egyptians, why would he continue to use them as a logo?
Pride. Which is the essence of everything that our oppressor is. Just unmitigated hubris, just pride on a level that it's like a sickness. You understand? Where they just believe, yeah, that happened, but this time we can win. That's them. Like imagine a lot of you try to have that American ethic. Okay, a lot of that American ethic comes from movies, which was created by Amalek, who controls movie companies. You know that feeling of, if we just believe it, we can do it. That's like inherently American. It's like, how can I describe it to you? You know how you lose, but it's like, I lost, but damn it, I'm going to put more money into it, and I'm going to keep doing, because whatever I believe in, I can accomplish. That's Satan. That's how he thinks. You understand? It's like the feeling of, oh yeah, you lost 100 times, but this time I'm going to get him. This time I'm going to win. I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to win, and God can't stop me. Imagine believing in yourself. Think about that. Where you just believe in yourself so much And damn it, you ain't listening to that negativity or somebody saying you can't have it. That's the white man. That's our oppressor. He truly believes in himself. And he reads the stories and reads all about it and says, you know what? This time I'm going to get him. Pride. Let's think about that. And you know the precepts on pride. Pride have lifted thee up. Right? That's in Isaiah about his pride. Right? He exalts himself like the eagle because of his pride. Do you understand? All right, next.
So next question is Shalom Adawan in Christ. And I got a breakdown on Tobit chapter 3 and verse 6.
Solid.
What does it call, slightly, why does it call them her husband before thy Lord with her?
Before he laid with her, I'm assuming, right?
Come on.
Okay, why does it call her? Read it for everyone. I'll explain.
Oh God. This is the book of Tobit, chapter 3, verse 6. Now therefore deal with me as seemeth best unto thee, and command my spirit to be taken from me, that I may be dissolved and become earth.
Where is? Oh, this is the sister in Tobit that was strangling the brothers. Where are we at?
Tobit 3 and 6. Sir.
Right. Let me just catch everyone up. This is the sister in the Bible that had this demon that had her strangle every man on the wedding night. She would kill him and strangle him, and the father would bury him in the morning. So imagine just a real, what do they use that word today? Psychopath, right? A psychopath. You got psychopaths, and then you have, what's the other one? The other one is close to a psychopath, but not quite a psychopath. You are I forget the name of it. It begins with psych again, but a psychopath is someone that derives pleasure from hurting people. Where they just get pleasure from it, they enjoy it. These serial killers, they're psychopaths, right? They just love to hurt people. And so think about it like that. A serial killer would be the good way to understand it. A lot of men out there, you women out there having sex with these men on Instagram and on, the thing where everybody sells their feet on that channel where you can just go buy feet to look at feet or whatever, the childhood trauma you've received. And somehow you need feet. That's not where babies come from, brothers, feet. So anyway, a lot of people you meet on there are psychopaths, and the way that they come to orgasm is killing you. That's what brings them to orgasm. A lot of you brothers who want to meet strange white women online, a lot of these white women cannot come to orgasm without stabbing you in the head and then killing you and wrapping you up in a carpet and calling her cousin over to get rid of the body. What is the name? What's the other one I'm thinking about? Not psychopath. Come on. Yes, give him a hand. God damn. Y'all niggas went to college? Go ahead. Go ahead. So I can. All right. A sociopath. What's a sociopath? A sociopath is someone who doesn't care if they hurt people. It just doesn't affect them. They don't have empathy. A sociopath. They don't feel bad for who they hurt. They don't have tender eyes. A sociopath, right?
Jeffrey Dahmer.
There you go. Well, Jeffrey Dahmer is a psychopath. Jeffrey Dahmer needed to kill and eat people to have sexual gratification. It was part of the pleasure. You get my point. He couldn't just be a homosexual and then go home. He couldn't do that. Part of the sexual pleasure was killing him. It was what he needed. It was a fetish. It's what he needed to be satisfied sexually. All right. And that's a psychopath. A sociopath is someone who just doesn't care if you're in pain. They don't feel any compassion at all. You're going to meet a lot of psychopaths out there if you're just hunting people online, looking for something to end your loneliness. You're going to run into people like this sister. And this sister killed 7 men. She killed 7 of them. But here's the good news for her. She was the lawful property of a man named Tobias, meaning he was the one, according to family, that had the next right to marry her, which is in Israel how things were done, meaning in Israel, everything is in order. So even if you have this woman here, right, there's a man who has the legal right to her. Why is that established? So that men don't fight over her. Who has the legal right to the woman? The one that is closest related to her. So if you were her 2nd and 3rd cousin, he's her 5th and 6th cousin, 7th and 8th cousin. The 2nd and 3rd cousin is the one that has the legal right to her. She's his if he wants her. If he passes on her, then the rest of the people can get it who are farther along the line. To understand this, you need to go to what? Who knows? You need to go to, that's an excellent one, but there's a better one I think that's more succinct. The older brother that married the sister. Boaz. Go find Boaz. Boaz met this bad young sister. She was curled up at his feet. He woke up in the middle of the night after a party. She's curled up all wrapped around his feet, keeping his feet warm. He looked down at her and said, damn, what the hell are you doing? And she wanted to marry him. And he was so impressed because she was such a young sister and he was an older man. And he thought she was just deep by the fact that she wanted to marry an older brother when she could be out there with them young brothers having a ball. Go ahead. Exactly. Like imagine some man who you marry to keep warm, to feed him and take care of him in his old age. You got to have a lot of damn compassion because in essence, you're marrying somebody that you got to nurse and take care of. And Boaz thought it was amazing. So he said, listen, I can't guarantee that I can marry you, but I will go ask the other brothers who have the right to thee. He went and asked them. He went and had a council with them, sat down. They said, no, I don't want her, man. I don't have enough money for that. She got too much debt. I can't afford that. Now her and her mom, there's too many problems. They passed on her. They could have taken her because she was theirs legally, but they passed and it passed straight to Boaz. And he went and married a brother and shalom. And now she's written in the New Testament as being one of the grandmothers to Jesus Christ. Everyone understands. All right, next.
Brother Shalom, gentlemen, I get a general breakdown of Exodus 21 verses.
Go ahead. Tell me one more time, Daniela. Go ahead.
Concert, Exodus chapter 21 and verse 8. If she please not her master, who hath betrothed her to himself, then shall he let her be redeemed. To sell her into a strange nation, he shall have no power, seeing he hath dealt deceitfully with her.
Okay, what's the question? Does this mean you can throw away a woman when you have sex with her? No, this is not what it means. He betrothed her to himself, which means he got her to marry her, but she didn't please him. So then what did he do? Didn't marry her, right? It's like ending a courtship, which you can do 100 times, right? There's no law against ending a courtship. You get a woman and you say, I'm going to marry her. So now you start taking care of her, feeding her, because now you're going to marry this woman. But then she doesn't please you, meaning you don't want to marry her anymore. You change your mind. You're not pleased by her. Well, then you can let her go. And that's true today in the Israelite School of UPK. Go ahead.
So what is some tips to consider regarding a courtship or getting into a courtship?
Okay, well, this is not a science, but it is an art. It's something that you can learn how to do. In a courtship, keys to do what again?
Consider.
Okay, keys to consider is to hide nothing about yourself in the courtship so she can know exactly who you are. So you can know exactly who she is, so you can have all of your problems now. And if you can have those problems now, you can end it now, which is the key to a courtship. The key to a courtship is ending it. Do you understand? It's saying, it's over, goodbye. And everyone should know that. You should know just we're in this courtship and we both can walk away in the next 10 minutes. Now, as long as everyone understands that, what do? You just show her yourself. So many brothers, the problem with you in a courtship is that you lie like a goddamn bank robber through the whole courtship. You lie all the time. So, of course, then the broad doesn't know you because you're lying every minute of the day through the courtship. Let me give you the main lie you're going to tell her. Are you ready? I don't want any more wives. Yeah, I'm done. Yeah, I'm straight with that. Really? So you know what's going to happen in 5 years? You know that. You know you'll never want another wife. Is that what you know about yourself? I got you. Lo and behold, 6 weeks later, you're going to get another wife, right? And then she's going to say what? You lied to me. You lied because you told her you don't want another wife when what you really meant was, I don't want one right now because I'm focused on trying to get you right now. That's what you really mean. What you really mean is, no, I'm not thinking about them. I'm thinking about trying to get in your drawers. So as we sit here in front of you, this detail I want, this one. I don't want any other one. Now, once you give me this one, then of course then my focus goes on to these other ones over here. That's honest. So what I would say, listen, tonight I don't want any other wives. Tonight I want you. But tomorrow is another day. That's just honest. Okay, now she could say, hey, I'm done. Goodbye. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want a man who wants other women. You can go find those brothers that only want you for the rest of their life. There's brothers out there like that. There's brothers that only want one wife. That happens. Then she would have the opportunity to leave and end the courtship. And sisters, you got to be honest with him. You might want to show him yourself without that wig on. I'd go there with it. Why not? He's going to see you without that wig if he marries you. A lot of you married to women, you ain't never seen them naked, ever. Like they turn the lights off and get in that bed and you don't know what she looks like at all. If I showed you that broad in a lineup from the neck down, you would not know who that is because she turns the lights off, gets up under the covers real fast. You never see her with a wig off ever. You in the courtship, you should just say, listen, here we go. This is it here. This is what I'm dealing with. And the brother could go, okay, no sweat. Y'all should mouth about it. The brother could get the hell up out of there. Or he stays. Or he goes, all right, listen, no problem. Take that wig off. No sweat. I'm dealing with that. Or he'll just love it and love the fact that you did it. Love the fact that you made yourself vulnerable to him. You just showed him yourself with no goddamn wig. This is what I'm dealing with. And then he stays. But the lying is what makes a courtship just a waste of time, because here's the problem. If you let a courtship go on longer, eventually the lies start to stop. The lies begin to be proven false. And then now you're bitter in the middle of a courtship when you could have just ended as brothers and sisters, all right? So the key is honesty. Honesty. Everybody understands. And most of you think you're honest and you're not. Let that be step one. You think you're telling the truth and you are not telling the truth. All right, you understand, Malak, all right?
No, God.
Next.
Your brother's come, sir. I was doing the questions.
Solid. All right, give me those precepts. Any questions in the room? Solid. Give me those precepts I asked for earlier. Somebody remind me to practice my Spanish in there. I told Yashikar I'd practice my Spanish. Someone remind me before the class is over. All right, go ahead.
Book of 2 Ezra, chapter 15, verse 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation.
Let me tell you what, so many people look at what's happening all across the world. Once again, in South Central America, in London, in Birmingham, in the Caribbean, and constantly, probably for your whole life and your father's whole life, everyone has lamented about the crime that blacks and Hispanics have to go through. Our crime-riddled neighborhoods where we constantly kill each other and hurt each other, or in your very own households where you harm each other and brothers and sisters hate each other. Or when grandmom dies and how everybody in the family fights over the inheritance or over some insurance money that you're going to hate your brother and sister over, or that your mother hated her sister over because they're fighting over, $20,000 or $5,000 that grandmom left everybody in her by her insurance. Or the average everyday crime that happens every day, the carjackings, the stealing, people breaking into your home, the black on black crime, right? What people don't understand is that crime is not because black people are just somehow inherently violent. The crime down there on the border in Mexico, in Juarez and places like that is not because, Hispanics are just, like Donald Trump said, they're murderers, they're thieves, they're rapists. That's who's coming over here. Most people think there's a pathology or a sickness in blacks and Hispanics that just makes us more capable, more susceptible to being criminals. And that is not true. We commit these crimes because we're poor. Right. And if white people were poor, they would start World War I and World War II. That's what they would do, because that's what they did. They would Russia and America would fight each other. They would war in Vietnam. They would war in Korea. People act as if white people don't kill each other by the millions. And they do it for this reason: money. That's why America kills people, and Russia and China. Please, go ahead. Please. It's all right, Warrior. Go ahead. Let me tell you what else he gave you. Not only did he give you guns and drugs, he inspires you to hurt people. How? Movies, music, and video games. It's such a joke to me when I hear about people saying, we got to get rid of these guns. The Democrats love to say that. The Democrats love to say, we got to pass gun laws to get rid of these guns. There's too many guns out here. All right, now let's sit down and play Call of Duty. Let's sit down and get this Call of Duty on, and this Black Ops number 3. I remember when Ops was from those video games. I remember that. A Op was from, is it Call of Duty? Yeah, it was from when Call of Duty was like the new rage. I noticed, I said, damn, why are all these black people playing this video game when back then, I don't recall black people having some old military game that they loved. Back that time, I thought blacks and Hispanics liked sports games, like Madden and things like that. I look up one day, every young brother is playing some old pretend to be a Navy SEAL game. And everybody's making believe they're a Navy SEAL, and it had something called an op on it, right? An operation, or Black Op, which means operation. Before you know it, everybody in Chicago was killing everybody, calling them an op. I wonder where that came from. It came from that stupid video game where they make you fantasize about killing people. Where you're in a murder fantasy, some of you for 10 hours sitting on the damn couch, for 10 hours, having fantasies pretending to be a goddamn Navy SEAL. You're not a Navy SEAL, Lock. And let me tell you what else that does to you. It makes you belittle yourself to real Navy SEALs. There are real people that do that on those games. So how do you feel when you think about them? Someone in the white man's military, or someone who actually is away in war fighting. Don't you feel that you're less of a man compared to him? Because you're playing the damn video game for 12 hours a day, killing, foreigners on some video game, and he's doing it for real. It's belittling to you. But there is a way you could feel just like him, isn't it? There's a way you could feel just like a real killer, and that's to go do it on your block. And video games, and forget about the stupid movies, and forget about the music that tells you kill people, kill people, kill people, kill people. And those things wouldn't work on a person who had a better home life, who wasn't so poor. Then you would have a resistance to art. And once again, like I said before, art is politics. Everything you see in art is really politics. How do you know that for a fact? Because somebody else paid for it. You understand? Whoever paid for it, it's his. And if he's paying for it and you're seeing it, then why in the hell did he pay for it? I can see if I bought a painting and put it in my house. I buy a painting for $500,000, a Rembrandt. I hang it up above my fireplace, and now I get to enjoy it. But if I buy a $500,000 painting and put it where you can see it, then I want you to feel something by looking at that painting because I pay for it. You don't pay for TV and commercials. You don't pay for music. You hear it for free. But someone did pay for it. They paid for it for you to hear it. And that's why everything that's art is politics, especially a piece of art that was invented around the Renaissance by Leonardo da Vinci. That's the second son of Pope Alexander VI of Rome. And they commissioned a painting and put it out so you could see it. They paid for the painting that we now call that white Jesus. Someone put up money, paid Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo, commissioned them. Art has patrons. people who paid for the art. But this artwork was paid for, and now it's in your face in every church. Because that painting of that white Jesus was really politics. Do you understand? Come on.
All right, appreciate it.
Go ahead.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14 and verse 15. For a father afflicted with untimely mourning, when he hath made an image of his child, soon taken away, now honored him as a god.
Now, this father paid for a picture of his dead son who was murdered because he was a child molester, and he gives it to the people. Now, the people can enjoy it. Now, he puts it in museums and tells people to come see it, puts it in churches and makes duplicates of it for the people to enjoy, for the people. And these commercials for the people, and music for the people to have. Because really, all of it is politics. It's someone gaining power over you. And the problem is, we're too poor to fight the urge to do what art tells us to do. We're too poor. We're in such poverty, and I want to be a Navy SEAL. I want to get out there and do some black operations. I want to feel like a man. I want to feel like someone who was molested when I was 6 and who didn't have a father and who had to have the terrible childhood memory of, let me give you something that aches you for the rest of your life. You're about 5 or 6 years old, and the kids are sitting around and saying, my daddy is a mailman. My daddy is a construction worker. And you sit there and go, I don't know my daddy. Right. That memory, brother, kills people. Right. It makes your life go down the road. Everyone is that thing in the schoolyard. This happens a lot, mainly with girls. My daddy is a this, and my daddy is a that. And you're sitting there like, I don't know my daddy. So most girls lie. Most girls just say, my daddy is, Malcolm X. My daddy is this. Little girls just learn to lie because they don't know who their father is. Because their mother and their father argued and fought so much that their father is not even in their life anymore. Enough of those tragedies, Zach. You can't resist it because you're so poor and so broken, and now you go out and kill people. Now you go out and rob people. Now you go out and become a drug cartel. Now you go out and become a gang member because you were so poor. The places in Mexico where the cartels rule those places are. My God, you couldn't imagine living there. You couldn't imagine living in Acuña, Mexico. It'll drive you out of your goddamn mind. Why not kill everybody? Why not? You're so poor and suffering so much. What's your alternative? Just starve here and look for water? Beg? Go down to some tourist place and beg? Poverty is why we turn to crime. Poverty. Not because you're black, not because you're a spick or a nigger or a savage, but because you're poor. And you're poor because you have an oppressor. Does everyone understand? That's why you're poor. Because there's someone who has money and he works day and night to keep all of it and to give you none of it. And because of that, you're poor. And because you're poor, you get into a life of crime. Read it one more time.
The book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14 and verse 15. For a father afflicted with untimely.
No, not that. I'm sorry. The one we were at.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Where
did I say to stop with this?
You just said 2 Ezra chapter 15 verse 19. I have the other two precepts you need to.
Okay, go ahead. Read it again, please. 2
Ezra chapter 15 and verse 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor.
Go to 20, all right?
Sir.
I mean, a man shall have no pity. Everybody, I'm sorry. Read that again from the top. 19.
2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword. That's
the black and Hispanic life. That's your life being around your brothers. And then before you know it, when you grow up, you know what you'll say later? You'll say, white people ain't never done nothing to me. It's black people that hurt me. It's black people. Yeah, I know, no shit. White people have never done nothing to you because they're rich. They're not stealing your hubcaps. They're not stealing your car. They're not down there selling drugs standing on your corner that you live on because they don't have to. There's no reason to do that because they're rich, because they have money. So yes, black people who live in your neighborhood, your neighbor, will be the ones that you have to consider protecting yourself from first. People that look just like you. What's the reason for that? Because you're poor and so are they. Right? Why aren't there white people standing on your street corner selling drugs? This is why. Because white people are the ones who supply the neighborhood with drugs. So they don't have to stand on your street corner and shoot people for territory. They don't have to do that. They don't have to break into your house and steal your Jordans. They don't, because they sell Jordans. Does everyone understand? Keep going.
And spoil their goods.
And spoil their goods and steal your Jordans, steal your wallet, steal your grandmother's purse. That will always be people who are just like you, who look like you, because you are poor and your people are poor. And the people who are rich don't have to do petty crime because they've stolen everything from you 100 years ago. And they pass it down to their children. Keep going.
Because of the lack of bread.
Because of what?
Because of the lack of bread.
We don't have any. We need some bread, and we don't have any. You understand? If you're black and Hispanic, you know what I'm talking about. That's money, young man. Money. Because we don't have bread, and we need bread. And the Most High is just trying to describe the infighting and the crime that we have in our communities. It's not because, black people are evil. Or they're disgusting. I got a terrible video from some bastard called Charlamagne the God. How did I forget this video till just now? I had this up for you. Oh, God, let me find this in 1 second. I sent this to somebody, probably a Shar in New York. I mean, he was just talking about black people like they were rats, like they were animals that needed to be exterminated. 1 second. I'll see if I can find it. Here it is right here. I'm going to send it to you right now. This is ridiculous. Hold on. Stand by. Am I missing any questions?
Yeah, one more.
All right, let me give you this, and then you pull it up when it's appropriate. All right. Okay. Okay, solid. All right. And him, like so many people, think that black people are just rats, as if we just, are prone to crime because there's something wrong with our minds. It's not. It's because we need bread. We need bread. Now, the problem is the only way to get bread out, you're going to have to first resist the urge to do crime. You have to fight that feeling inside of you that wants to get a PPP loan and do a scam. That you have to fight. I understand why you want to get a PPP loan, because you're poor. I get it. Why you want to steal and do insurance fraud. You got one baby. Everybody puts the baby on the damn taxes. The grandmama has it on the taxes, the aunt, the mother, the daddy, the stepdaddy, two of your play cousins. Everybody has this one child on the damn tax return. And of course, the IRS just hired 50,000 new people. And from now on, the IRS agent has to carry a gun. Go look that up. They have to carry guns from now on. Put that into your Googles. And because now they're going to come into your house and arrest you because you're claiming a child that you shouldn't have claimed. This is why, you commit these kind of crimes. If you want to have bread, you're going to have to resist the urge to do crime. And after you resist that urge to do crime, then you can come together with the righteous and make some bread. Does everyone understand? All right. Where we at here? You have something you want to say, Warrior? Please. Say that one more time. Listen, it's worse than that. Charlamagne the God said that not only because he loves the oppressor, but because he is desperate to be accepted by them. And you're going to find that among your people. And once again, why is he desperate? Because he is sick. He was sick of being poor. And when you're sick of being poor, brother, you'll sell your soul to sleep in a better bed, to have food, to live in a neighborhood where you don't have to worry about being shot. And he's desperate to be accepted by them. And because of that, he'll do anything. If you have it, you can play. What's the question you have while we're doing this?
Sister says, sir, how does a parent and the truth manage anxiety about their children going to school during these times with all the homosexuality and school shootings and etc.?
I'll get you up. meaning you're sending your child out to school and people are getting shot in schools and in schools. Okay. If you're black or Hispanic, there is nothing happening now that wasn't a lot worse a few years ago. I know mass shootings are in the news now, but what school did you go to? Raise your hand if you knew about school people getting shot in school that was not a mass shooting. That was just shooting in school. All right, everybody in the room. All right, so I understand that mass shootings are on the news, which is to make white people afraid. But if you're black, they've been shooting up your schools since the 60s. Since the 60s. Going to a black school. Did you ask your papa about the 80s in school? Jesus Christ. Brother, going to school, my first day of high school, they told me I went to a Catholic school. Went in, did a lot of hurting a lot of people in there, and they kicked me out of there quickly. All right, and I went in there, hurt some people, and the cops came and they said, we no longer want you to come to this Catholic school. So then now they kicked me out of the Catholic school, and I had to go to a public school. And the first day I walked up there, it's blood all over the steps, like a movie. You know, I remember looking like, God damn. Like it was covered in blood. I stepped over the blood, went in there and registered the school and went in there. And there you go. Everybody understands that. All right. So now that was before school shootings. That was just, Ricky and them shooting everybody. And T-Ray and Jake and Snake and all of them and Big Tony and Tyrone. It was a whole lot of shootings in there in that school, but it had nothing to do with school shooting. You have lived in danger your entire life. That's all you've ever known, right? And if you think it's bad in school, guess where it's worse? In your house. That's where it's worse. You're going to get molested in your house at night, in the bed, when everybody's asleep. That's where you're going to get molested. You're going to get molested by your mother's boyfriend. You're going to get beat with an extension cord by your mother. So you've known danger your entire life. There's only one thing different now. Now you have God's protection. Now you're in the truth. Now the angels of God go with your child into the school. The angels of God are with your child in the house. There's only one way to be safe, and that's to have God's protection. And you don't get God's protection celebrating Christmas, celebrating New Year's Eve, eating a turkey dinner on Thanksgiving, or celebrating Halloween. If you're doing those things, then the same death that you went through, your child is going to go through. You were molested. What's going to happen to your child? She's getting molested. It's going to happen. God's protection goes with your child wherever they go. God's protection. So if you don't want your child to get shot in school, if you don't like the homosexuality, then you better bring that child up in the truth. You better teach that child about homosexuality so that when he or she is in class and the teacher is trying to push them into Christmas and New Year's and homosexuality, the child sits there and goes, I'm not doing that. I'm not standing up for the national anthem. The teacher says, stand up, you should stand up. And you just go, nah, I'm not doing that. I don't stand up for the national anthem. And I don't let adults push me into compromising my integrity. A child can learn that at 5. A child can know, I don't care if they're an adult or not. I'm not doing what you say just because you're an adult, because it's wrong. That might be beneficial for your child to learn, right? What if your child didn't obey adults either? If an adult said to do something wrong, that might help your child when your uncle tells him, don't tell anybody. This is a secret. I'm an adult. Don't tell anybody. Your child might go, I'm telling everybody. I don't compromise my integrity just because you're an adult. The same muscle that your child uses in school to say, no, I don't want no Halloween candy. No, I'm not blowing out birthday candles. No, I don't want any Christmas gifts. But the adults will say, take the Christmas gift, celebrate Christmas. You can be gay. You can have your own gender. You can be trans. The child will go, nah. The teacher will go, but I'm an authority figure. The child would say, I get that, but I'm not doing it. Then the child goes right home and tells your nasty ass uncle the same thing. Now your child has God's protection. You didn't have it, but your child can. Everyone understands. Malak.
So how would you instill something like that into your children at a young age?
How do you instill anything into anybody, officer?
Teacher.
Shalom. Enforce it. Teach it. Push it. Like make it, drill them. You get my point? People are so worried about what teachers are going to teach your kids. They better worry about what I'm teaching my kids. Because I'm going to send my kids straight into that school like he's a One West soldier. I'm going to send my daughter into that school like she is so One West that none of this programming and brainwashing works on her. And so then the child becomes a problem in school. Then they're calling you like, your child just will not stand up for the national anthem. We told them to, but they won't. I said, yeah, I know, because I told them don't ever stand up. They're not going to stand up. We tried to give your child Halloween and to get him a ghost costume, but they won't do it. Yeah, I know they're not doing it. I know they're not. Because I brainwash my kids, not you. I'll brainwash my kids. You teach them math, Mr. Johnson. That's what you can do. Teach that nigga math and geometry and send him the hell home. Let me do all the brainwashing. Everybody understands. So just send, you got to, sending your child to school will not ever cancel what you are teaching them at home. You got to make that primary. Then they'll go to school, throw away the Christmas, throw away the holidays, throw away the gay shit, and just take the math and the science and get the hell up out of there. That's what they'll do. Everybody understands. All right, next. Please, let's play this real fast. Go ahead. Pause it when I say, all right? Go ahead.
I don't give a fuck. And the reason I always
Pause.
say I don't give a fuck is because
Pause. First, you got to read that to understand what we're talking about. Read that, please, Jediah.
Sir, how do you feel about other races using the N-word?
Can people online see this TV, or is this light blocking them? Jediah.
Oh, they can see.
Read it one more time.
How do you feel about other races using the N-word?
So they asked Charlamagne the God, how do you feel about other races saying nigger? How do you feel about it? Let's play his answer.
I don't give a fuck. And the reason I always say I don't give a fuck is because until we stop using the word nigga, we can't get mad at nobody else for using the word nigga. And every time somebody from another race uses it, they say the same thing. But they use it all the time. If something's bad, it's bad. Period. It can't be good when I do it, but bad when you do it. That makes no
Stop.
fucking
Pause.
sense.
Let me tell you, I know a lot of brothers in here, you're very young, and I am, of course, very old. But let me tell you what Charlamagne the God is talking about. And you can think about this when you hear about what Kanye West said about Jewish people, right? Telling Jewish people that they are not Jews, right? Back in the 90s and 2000s, this was a specific comedian. He was called Michael Richards, and he played Kramer on Seinfeld, right? And he did a comedy routine on stage where blacks and Hispanics together, a group of them together, came in to see his comedy special. And they were having a birthday party, and they made noise as they were walking to the seat. And he said, look at these black people coming in here. Look at them. Blacks and Mexicans here sitting in here, and they're making noise as they're walking in. And then the Judite among them started to argue with Michael Richards. And he began to argue back, and he said, play the video. What am I doing? Play the video. He began to say, nigger, these niggers coming in here, niggers doing this, niggers doing that. And brother, it was like, oh my God, Kramer from Seinfeld is calling everybody nigger. And it was like a national news story because, of course, Kramer was so beloved. Can you hold this and give me that one? Kramer was just so beloved. Do you know that that's Kramer, after he did it, went out and got Jeese Jackson and Al Sharpton. And they did a referendum on, we shouldn't say it. Black people have to stop saying nigger. That's why he did it. And do you know the entire black race on TV began to push to say what's really wrong is that we're saying nigger. We have to say nigger. Now you think about that when you think about Jewish people. Think about it. We blamed ourselves because Kramer said nigger. Because Kramer said nigger, it was like, Kramer said nigger because we say nigger. It's not really Kramer's fault. Let me show you the goddamn tape. Let me show you Jeese Jackson saying it real fast, if you have 1 second. Play that video.
All right, you see, it shocks you, you see what you need, your student of
Pause. Everybody heard that, right? Now, now, let me show you the black response to it. Okay, you're gonna look this one up for me, y'all. You're gonna look up Jeese Jackson, Paul Mooney. Okay, Jeese Jackson. So what's his cat's name again? Kramer? Michael Richards. Michael Richards. All right. Okay, here I go here. Bear with me. There's 1,000 of these, so let me just get you the right one. Stand by. This is a good one. Okay, it's like you're gonna look up Richard's apology. You're gonna see Jeese Jackson standing behind him as he gives this apology. All I need you to do is, as you play it, just look behind him. You have it? Let me know. Yeah, that might be the one, the simplest one. Go ahead and play it. And I'm gonna give you another one.
I'm sorry.
Did everybody see Jeese Jackson?
Yeah.
Rewind it for him again.
I just think the apology was so pathetic.
Well, one black comedian known for sprinkling the N
Hold on.
American community.
Hold on. I got another one for you. I'm gonna send you this one right here. You're gonna start it at 143. This is the best one. This one might do the whole thing. 143. Stand by. Am I missing questions? Okay, hold on. Okay. This is all we need. This explains the whole damn point. What the hell? Hold on. 1 second. Just mark down 143. Okay, there you go. That's all you need. This is one. You can drop everything else and just drop this one and get this one. Everybody just stand by. We need questions in the room? You got it? No problem. Then after that, you'll play Charlamagne the God, and then that we'll go back to the precepts. Go ahead.
Sorry. I'm very, very sorry to the African American community for the upset.
If the way he said it seemed odd to some, the contrition was real, said Jackson, who saw the whole business a silver lining.
Just maybe in a strange way, Michael's not down there contribute to reviving an appropriate national dialogue that can bring world healing.
And
Stop.
Black
Do you hear what Jesse? Listen to this, Jewish people. When a white man called us nigger, we said it was a good thing. it was Jeese Jackson said, this is good because maybe this can start a dialogue. Can you imagine? White people, you don't even know what it's like to be us. Imagine a white man, Kanye West saying, you kikes, you Rosenberg kikes, and then Steven Spielberg going, but really that was a good thing because then maybe it can start a dialogue about, the word kike. Can you imagine Steven Spielberg standing next to you because you're the one that called Jewish people kikes? At that time, our greatest religious leader. After Martin Luther King, this cat is the greatest one we had in popular society. And somebody says, you nigger, there would be a pitchfork in your ass 50 years ago. Jeese Jackson comes out with him on TV and says, really, it's good that he said this. Because Jewish people, can you imagine being black? Can you imagine being the real Jews? Can you even think about what we have been through? Someone calls us nigger. Our own leader says it's good. It's good. It starts a dialogue. Keep going.
sprinkling the N-word quite liberally through his act, vowed that he would stop.
Michael, he cured me. He's my Dr. Phil.
No, last night at the Laugh Factory.
Pause.
I think what came out was
Pause. Paul Mooney said Kramer cured him. He's my Dr. Phil. This white man calling me nigger, it helped me. Thank you. You're my Dr. Phil, meaning you're my therapist because you called me nigger, and now I see that nigger is bad. I never knew that through the 100 years I've been saying nigger on stage. Thank you. Jewish people, can you imagine what it's like to be us? It's like an amazing life where you can call us nigger. Our leaders will go, well, see, he was right to call us niggers because really we say nigger. So really, he helped us. Thank you. Thank you, Michael Richards. Let me come with you to the press conference and let me stop saying nigger because you taught me not to say nigger. Keep going.
came out of his mouth.
The healing hadn't quite begun. Keith Morrison, NBC News, Los Angeles.
Pause.
And as promised, I'm joined.
That's us. And he's going to just go on to tell you, you can let everybody, they can watch this online. Show them, give them the clip. They can start at where we said it, or you can start to watch the whole goddamn thing. But it's just black people celebrating Michael Richards and thanking God that he teaches us all not to say nigger. Play Charlamagne the God, then I got to go. Come on. I'll get you in the back. I'm sorry. I'll get you now. Wait. Go ahead,
Like, how could you use that word in a sarcastic way when you have brothers out in the world carrying on, inappropriate, loudmouth, no mannerism, looking like, how you see brothers of the truth carry themselves,
right?
And brothers out in the world,
crime, you acting black. That's what you're saying. In essence, they're acting black because they're acting negro, like black people, right? Because that's what nigger means. It means black. It doesn't mean ignorant. It doesn't mean lazy. It means black. Do I have to ask Alexa? Alexa, what does negro mean?
I'd rather not answer that.
Oh shit! I'm tired of her. Alexa don't want to say that shit. She's scared. Alexa don't want to get canceled. Never mind, Alexa. Okay, Alexa, how do you say black in Spanish?
Black in Spanish is negro.
Good enough. All right. Negro is black. So if you acting like a bunch of niggers means you acting like a bunch of black people. And so here we are fighting our whole life not to act right, which means being black is bad. Being black is committing crime. Being black is stealing. Being black is lying. Being black is lazy. This is how we grew up. This is it. Jewish people didn't grow up like that. They did not grow up like that. You know why? Because they're not Jews. Because the Jews, thou shalt discontinue from thy inheritance, and thy name shall be a byword forevermore. Jewish people didn't suffer this because they're just white people. But the real Jews have to hate who they are because that's in the Bible. Please.
So it's like that would be wrong to say about a brother who's like always inappropriate, like always saying.
Does being black mean being inappropriate? So then, but if you say you're acting like a nigger, you are saying that being black, it means being inappropriate.
So if I'm clear, so like you hear people say that, they're actually wrong about
Yeah, let me tell you what they're really saying, which is what you're already gonna know. They're saying you need to what? Come on, be more. Oh, you know. Yeah, what else could we be, right? You need to be more white because being white is what? Being appropriate. Look, a white man drinks his tea like this. A nigga drinks his tea like this. Like a white man read his Bible like, a nigga read his Bible like this. Being black means being inappropriate. Being white means being logical and reading and drinking your soda, logically. It's self-hatred, and you believe you have a sickness that is your blood. When really, when you see black people being inappropriate, when you see them committing crime, they're doing it for what reason? Come on. You got to break free. Give him a hand. Break free. You're a Judite, I'm sure, right? You're not a Judite. What tribe are you? Oh, same thing. Benjamin might be a little worse. Benjamites really got a ton of self-hatred about being West Indians. It's bad. I don't know if you should see some in the world. It's bad with Benjamites, right? The Commander General Yohana thought his family thought he was just Satan because he was so radical. And his family was just so avoiding acting like niggers. And they thought he was just radical. When you're really saying, be more white, because being white is being appropriate. Talking better is talking white, right? If I talk better and if I have a vocabulary, I'm talking like a white man. And if I motherfucker son of bitch get it, now I'm talking like a black person. You get my point. What do you have? Go ahead and play it. Charlamagne, he's gonna say the whole thing right now. Go ahead. And this is not this is widespread. For those, I don't know if you know this, but this is how my family thought. Everybody I ever grew up with thought like this. Look, here's some nigger shit again. And what happened? The brother's late. The brother late to come to work. Here you go. More of this nigger shit. Who you hired to do your plumber? A nigga plumber. Who you hired to do your taxes, nigga? A nigga taxes. Nigga doing taxes. He ain't never gonna be on time. He ain't gonna never do it right. And then you grow up and you say, let me get some white people because they do everything right. And you know what the white person does then? Steal every damn dollar you have. So make you sign a contract and take every penny you have and steal it from you. Which is what oppressors do. You steal a watch or snatch a gold chain. Some devil is going to steal every penny you ever make from now on forever with a piece of paper and a pen. And you'll never make another penny, never be able to do anything, and hand them your money forever. Go ask anybody in the music business. They'll tell you how white people steal. You sign this, and now guess what? You can't even call yourself Mahaiman no more. Mahaiman has to give us all that. You sign this piece of paper. They own Mahaiman. They own everything Mahaiman ever says. They own every record Mahaiman ever makes. They own everything Mahaiman ever does. You can't even be Mahaiman no more. You got to be John Smith now if you want to make money. That's how oppressors steal. While you're trying to avoid people that snatch chains and pickpockets. Play.
I don't give a fuck. And the reason I always say I don't give a fuck is because until we stop using the word nigga, you can't get mad at nobody else for using the word nigga. And every time somebody from another race uses it, they say the same thing. Well, they use it all the time. If something's bad, it's bad. Period. It can't be good when I do it, but bad when you do it. That makes no fucking sense. If you really want to make a stand against the N-word, stop using it. Teach people how to treat you. People don't want to treat you how they see you treating yourself.
Stop. Let's just first deal with that flawed logic. If something's bad, it's bad. Any of you have a wife? Raise your hand if you got a rib. All right, you ever smack her on the ass sometime when she washing the dishes or come up behind her just for that, just let her know you're here, right? Swagger! And what does she do? Ooh, hey, shalom. I see you here. What if somebody at work smacked her on the ass? Right? After she stabs him with that knife she keep in that purse, she might even pour a little she keep hot sauce in there too. She pour a little of that hot sauce in his eyes, mace him, call the police, call you, and then you call Captain Picard, and then here we go. Now it's like death, a black cloud on the job. The whole job is like in mourning. Damn it, Yediah. So wait a minute. You telling me a smack on the ass is welcomed from your husband and not welcomed from a stranger? So it's the same smack on the ass. But this is my man, so I like it. And I don't like it from strangers. If you like to be called nigger by people you're close to, that doesn't mean strangers can call you nigger. Isn't that true for everything? Right? You might have sex with people that like it. It's called consensual sex. And then there's another sex that's rape because they don't like it. So this woman is allowed to like sex from him and not like sex from him. Or is all sex good? No matter who does it. Are all smacks on the ass good? No matter who does it. That's the type of stupid garbage that we grew up thinking. That nigger, if it was bad from black people, it was bad from white people too. It had to be bad from all of them. You can have a personal relationship with someone and like that they do a thing that you don't like that they do. You are a human, aren't you? You're allowed to choose that. But of course, the way we grew up, Jewish people did not grow up like this. The way we grew up, white people were allowed to call you nigger, and if you didn't like it, you had no right to complain because you liked it when black people called you a nigger. Well, then smack every ass. Smack all of them because the woman has to like it because she likes it when her man does it. Keep going.
What's up, my nigga? How you, my nigga? I got love for you, my nigga. And then as soon as somebody else says, oh, nigga, or from another race, you all up in arms. That's being a hypocrite, and I ain't never been being a hypocrite.
So you don't care about people use that word?
No, because I'm not a hypocrite. I need to stop using the N-word. Let me tell you something. Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X was to come back alive today, right? Martin and Malcolm wouldn't be shocked at what Paul Dean using the N-word or Riley Cooper using the N-word. That's what they're used to. You would be shocked at? He'd be shocked at me using the N-word.
Pause.
Brother, what's your problem?
He just said Martin Luther King would be shocked that black people use the N-word. Who wants to say it for me? Captain Ariel. Martin Luther King used the N-word. It's on the FBI transcript. As he was putting his Baptist penis in a white woman, he said, who knows the quote? Let's just pull it up for him. Is it too much? I know I'm tight with the time, but let me just read the transcript of what Martin Luther King said as he was having sex with a white woman in the Watergate Hotel during the same weekend as the March on Washington. When he came up to Washington to march for freedom and march for this and march for talking like this, as he came to Washington and he got a room in the Watergate Hotel, he sent white prostitutes up to that hotel and he had a time last night, like the TikTok. He had a time. Martin Luther King had a time last night in the Watergate Hotel having sex with white women. It's the transcript is released. It's released to the public. Everybody can read it. The UPK told me about it before the transcript was released, back in the early 90s. The UPK told me about it standing at a camp right downtown in the same city right here. Said Martin Luther King had sex with white girls. J. Edgar Hoover taped him. They released the transcript like 5 years ago. Anyone has it? Just pull it up. You die.
Calm. Martin Luther King said, "Call me a nigger tonight."
That's what he said to the white girl as he's tying fire to her tail, giving her the Holy Ghost. He said, "Call me a nigger tonight." It was his sexual fetish, like he wanted a white girl, to call him nigger, like he was having sex with master's daughter. A lot of you black people had that type of, that's why you love white women. It's like you're trying to get back the man. You're trying to get him back because he's, the white man did this to you. Martin Luther King used the word nigger. He did it himself. Keep playing. I got to get the hell out of here. Go ahead.
So they be shocked that, all these rappers using the N-word. They hit Trinidad James so strong, my nigga. You're like, what the fuck is going on? They be in utter shock. It's like the episode of Boondocks and Martin Luther King Jr. looking around at these motherfuckers like, what the fuck are y'all doing? It's like, this what we died for?
It's like the episode, what did he say? Okay, that's what I'm trying to help y'all with TV. TV is not real, yo. That's not the real Martin Luther King on Boondocks. The movie X, that's not really how Malcolm X was. You understand? That's a movie. Because art, come on, it's politics. It's someone who paid for this movie, who wants you to think a certain way about Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and the civil rights leaders, that is not real. It's what they want you to think, which is why they put the money up for the movie. Malak.
They were saying the same thing about like Jeffrey Dahmer, like everything that happened exactly how we seen it.
Yeah, I mean, when you start to grow up, what I would advise is to read books. All right, is to try to go get a book, because movies are made for peons. You get my point? For the simple folk who don't want to read. But you might want to go out and learn to read and read a book and pick a specific book, because not every book is telling you the goddamn truth either. So you want to just go find something unbiased and just giving it to you straight, like a transcript. You get the point? That's all. It's just a stenographer recording what's on a tape. That's it. Keep going. I'm sorry. I think
they got beat.
Go ahead, brother. I'm playing.
With sticks and had dogs sicked on us and got sprayed with hoses. For y'all to be walking around and carrying yourselves like this? No, man. It's way too much blood on the N-word for it to ever be a good thing. I'm gonna tell you something else. That ER as opposed to GA, philosophy they use about to justify their use of it is utter bullshit.
You understand? What I don't want you to forget or lose sight of is how we got here. How we got here from a white man saying nigger. And now it's all about us. all about Trinidad James. That's what this is about now, Trinidad James. And rap. It's all about hip hop now. It's all about the shame that if Martin Luther King would hear hip hop music from some white man calling us nigger, the whole thing turns to how wrong we are, which is why Commanding General Yohana always says, stop blaming yourself. You're not at fault for Michael Richards saying nigger. If black people at fault for Michael Richards saying nigger, then why didn't white people say nigger in slavery then? What did they do it for? In slavery, they're the ones that called us nigger, right? So how in the hell are we at fault when they've been calling us nigger since we got here? How could it be our fault that now that's why Michael Richards said it? I'll tell you why, because he gave Jeese Jackson a donation that you probably do make your eyes pop out of your head. It'll make you go, what? If you could hear how much money this man gave Jeese Jackson to stand up on TV and say, this is a good thing. This starts a conversation. Now we can start a conversation. And that's the only reason that it's about us. Not because it is about us, but because they pay politicians to make you blame yourself. Keep going.
It's all the same motherfucking thing.
100 years from now, I think black people still be using the N-word.
Yeah, well, it's just not going to be black people. It's going to be.
It's the last part.
The truth of the matter is, the N-word ain't just a black thing no more. Honey Boo Boo's a nigga to me. Honey Boo, whatever, them niggas.
Hold up. Listen to this. Listen. This is the last part. I have another one where an Hispanic is doing the exact same thing about taco trucks. If I have time, it's insane. It's MSNBC, and a Mexican says, you better stop Mexicans from coming over here, because if you don't, there'll be a taco truck on every corner. That's real. And it's the same thinking, that we're the problem. It's too many of me here. It's too many of me in your neighborhood. It's too many of us in America. Okay, play this last part, and I got to get the hell out of here. All right, go ahead.
They got the same shit going on in their household that I see in any other nigga household. Motherfuckers smoking crack. Motherfuckers like it's all over. Scott and Courtney ain't married. They got 2 kids out of wedlock. Got some nigga shit.
Did you hear that? Who heard that? Yeah, he's saying that in the future, white people would be using nigger too, because they doing some nigger shit, having kids out of wedlock, doing this, stealing. That's some nigger shit. So in essence, white people will start to act like niggers, which means white people will start to act. Come on, brother in the back. White people will start to act. White people will start to act black, because acting black is having kids out of wedlock, doing this, dancing. Ugh. Give me the taco truck one if you could. While I get my stuff ready. Mariah, what are we doing here? He's here? All right, I'll do it next time. Come on. God damn it. See, that's what they do to you. I was down there I'm on the beach trying to snorkel. Fought for my life under that water like I was going to die. I don't know how Ariel learned how to swim like he took to it. I cannot swim out. And the damn Mexican brothers watching me, they had to come over there and help my dumb ass. And then guess what? Them niggas called me Aquaman for 3 days. Ooh, agua, heavy. What's man in Spanish? Hombre, Aquaman for 3 days. I had to be Aquaman. I went back there every day to conquer that shit, the name of the Lord. And I took it. Aquaman. Listen, I'm practicing the shit I can't do. Y'all don't listen. I'm going to do it. They taught me a lesson. Hold on right there. 1 second. Stand by. Salakia. All right. Here we go. All right. Nosotros somos la Escuela Israelita de Conocimiento Práctico Universal. Comenzamos en 1 Oeste Calle 125 en Harlem, New York, desde 1969, 1969, debajo del comando el nuestra, General Johanna. Si tú eres hombre, español, negro o indio, navío tú eres. One more. Last one. Second, y'all. Okay. Carnales. Los indígenas de México son el pueblo elegido de Dios. Shalom. That's it.